Hey everybody, Ryan McCaffrey here from IGN with Rebekah Valentine. Reb, we were just here, I mean, maybe technically we're literally in the game right now, and we're not really, but we are at Nintendo. We just played NES World Championships, which is you can't call it a re-release. It is a sort of spiritual home edition of the original 1980s in-person tournament.
It's a re-release of an experience of sorts.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So it's 150 total challenges across 13 games. I'll give you the quick list of the games. It's all three of the original Super Mario Brothers, but also Super Mario Brothers 2 The Lost Levels, Zelda 1 and 2, Metroid, Kid Icarus, Donkey Kong, Balloon Fight, Excite Bike, Ice Climber, and Kirby's Adventure. And there are just all these challenges that range from literally 5 seconds to maybe a minute. This may be the longest one we played the whole time.
It was 2, yeah.
But then there are party modes, there's online world challenges where there'll be weekly sort of reset leaderboards. We didn't get to experience that because the game's not out yet. There's nobody online. But quick impressions, what were your favorite of the 13 games? What were your favorite, if any, individual challenges that we did stick out to you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the single player mode, especially getting to know some of the games that I don't know as well. For instance, I had never played Excite Bike before in my life, and it turns out I'm not.
You're a natural.
I'm not too bad at it. But if you play the single player mode, you're taking these challenges from the most basic, get around the track one time, or one of my favorites in the original Legend of Zelda, get the sword.
Yeah.
As simple as walking into the cave and grabbing it.
You cannot fail it. It's just a question of how long will it take you.
I'm sure someone will find I'm sure I will find a creative way to fail it. But yeah, like these very, very simple things. But as you go, you get these coins and you can unlock more and more challenges, and the challenges get a little bit longer or a little more advanced, and there's more complex tricks you can use to try to finish them. And so I was enjoying both learning how to play games and also seeing some of my favorite games broken down into little bite-sized bits.
I had a good time playing the single player. They just warmed us up on some individual challenges, but clearly this thing really shines when you've got a group of people physically in the room with you. I mean, yeah, the online tournament sort of component of it I'm sure will be pretty cool, but yeah, we were yelling and screaming and using language not appropriate for Nintendo games as we were playing. But yeah, some of these were just trips down memory lane for me, like the beginning of any of the 3 made first Super Mario Brothers games I've done literally thousands of times. It's like, okay, well, let me see if I can get S tier on this one. I do have a couple blind spots, even as the resident old on the IGN team, or one of them. Hi, pair. But like Kirby can get right out of NES World Championships.
Wow.
Kirby, no, I never played Kirby, the original Kirby's Adventure as a kid, so I did not fare well there, but we ended up representing pretty well.
We did okay, yeah.
We took on 3 of the Nintendo folks, or the Nintendo team here, and they just edged us out by 5 points across 3 total rounds.
Barely.
Yeah, we made it respectable. They've only been playing this game for weeks and months, and we just walked in here.
Our failing was on the very advanced challenges too, and
which I take responsibility for. You actually held your own pretty well.
Not really. We did okay though, but I think one of the things that I liked about that mode so much, and why it seems like it might be a very, very good party game, is they do have these difficulty levels that range from just, again, walk over and get the sword, walk through the door, to do all 3 levels in a row of original Donkey Kong faster than everybody else. And I can imagine myself breaking this out when I have some friends over. Maybe those friends played Nintendo games back in the day with their siblings but haven't played in a while. Or maybe they've never touched them before, and we can probably find some sort of enjoyable party experience that will make everybody yell and say profanities at each other.
So I had an awesome time in the 45 or so minutes we played. I have 2 tiny complaints about this. And one was, for better, and in just only one case that I saw for worse, they brought these original games over as is, in their original form, and there was one of the challenges where Kirby's Adventure does have some slowdown when things get nuts. I did ask the Nintendo reps about that. They did say that's the original game, so whether you like that or not, I would have loved for that to have been fixed, but as you wisely pointed out, there are probably some speedrunners that wouldn't be thrilled that it was altered in any way. And then the other one that I do wish the folks at Nintendo could tweak here before it comes out on July 18th is, as we were in party mode, we'd all press A to ready up. Every single time someone would hit B, because most of the games you're hitting B to run. So before, somebody would have not hit A yet, and someone hits B, and it backs us out to the previous. So, and that seems like a fixable UI situation. But other than that, I had a fantastic time. What are your overall thoughts here?
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I think it was a really interesting experience. Certainly not. It was a little unfamiliar to me in a really pleasant way, because I grew up with like GameCube and Game Boy games, so a lot of these are very unfamiliar to me, and I found it really exciting and interesting how much of this I was able to. I came in here very worried. I was worried that I would just make a total fool out of myself, but I didn't. I did okay.
Great. Absolutely.
And yeah, I think I would encourage people who were maybe not so sure about this, because it's these old games. They're a little too retro for me. I maybe don't know these as well as other people. Give it a shot. Might be fun. And
$30 out July 18th. There's a deluxe version that's got a replica, like gold cartridge from, which is if you are old and you remember that, that's great. And hopefully, if this does well enough, maybe we get Super NES World Championships and then an N64 World Championships, and maybe for you a GameCube World Championships as well. So franchise, I see it. It's there. All right, Reb, thank you so much. For much more on all things Nintendo, we have a podcast for that. Nintendo Voice Chat.
We do.
Reb came prepared. And for all things Nintendo, you're already in the right place right here at IGN.